We're joined by Admirals Titley and Morisetti here, representing both the British and the U.S. government, as a look at how the navies are involved in environment and that sort of thing. Admiral Titley, tell me, first of all, how is it out there in international waters, and what is the Navy doing to sort of
Well, first, thanks so much for inviting us on your show here. Really appreciate the opportunity. Why the United States Navy is interested in climate change is we see this as a change in the environment in which we have to operate every day and potentially have to fight in. So just as our Department of Defense looks at changes in demographics and economics, and we plan for all kinds of contingencies and changes, it would frankly be irresponsible for us not to plan for these changes, especially when, if you just look out the window, you see changes in air temperature, sea temperature, water distribution, ice in the Arctic, what the animals and species are doing. You see all these changes. It's for us, it's not good, it's not bad, it's a change. And if you do not adapt to that change, you will put yourself at a disadvantage. And I don't think anybody in our country wants our Navy to be at a disadvantage.
Right. How are we adapting to that change?
Well, for the U.S. Navy, really the parts that we see are really two near-term issues. The first is the Arctic. We believe that within about 15 years, we'll see brief periods of no ice for all intents and purposes in the Arctic. And by the middle of the century, it's very possible that you will see 2 or even 3 months of basically no ice in the Arctic. We think that's going to change major maritime shipping routes. The Bering Strait becomes a major maritime intersection of commerce and really changes the entire dynamics of the global economy. Slightly longer term, sea level rise. As you can imagine, for a Navy, we have many of our bases at sea level. So as that comes up, potentially as much as 3 feet or more by the end of this century, that will have very significant implications for us.
Mm-hmm. Admiral Morisetti, how are you folks working with the U.S. government on these efforts?
The two countries are working very closely together, as are the two navies. Many of the issues that Admiral Titley has outlined are ones that we're concerned about as well. And I think the other areas that we would be looking at are what is the effect of climate change in the sense of on global stability and therefore the risks of instability around the world? Not in the sense climate change will start a conflict or be a direct cause of conflict, but it could well be a threat multiplier or a stress multiplier in those parts of the world that are already experiencing stresses: food, water, health, demographics. Parts of the world where we've seen conflicts in the past, we'll probably see it again, but particularly pertinent to the naval communities, it's where the world's trade routes run, not least for energy for both our countries and for many other parts of the world. So we need to understand what it means in the way of missions and tasks. Perhaps we're going to see more extreme weather events, we do more humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. But also, in both countries, in recent defence and security reviews, we've highlighted the need for the military to be involved in conflict prevention. Not a major part for us, many other actors, government and non-government involved, but nonetheless we can find ourselves helping, for example, a Coast Guard to develop its ability to monitor its exclusive economic zone offshore, where the fisheries are, and other key resources that people need for their well-being and prosperity.
And because you're out there in the elements and the environment, you...
Yeah, indeed. And in fact, as I travel around the world talking to governments and militaries of many nations, it's quite apparent that it's frequently the navies who are in the forefront of addressing these issues.
All right. Gentlemen, admirals, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very
much.
much.
Great pleasure. Thank you.